Trisuum and all gates filled, set to run. 1600 the trip. Racing. Scootin straight back to last, dawdling out as well. Pyro first to leave Regal Sun. Yardman jump well, it'll go up and now have a quick crack for the lead through the first 200. Now the favourite goes clear. Yardman a length and a half. Regal Sun a length and 3/4 away. Molly McGee striding forward outside of the slug, followed by Trisuum. Data Lake getting back at the 1200, back there in company with Pyro, and the tail ender is Scootin. Out to the riverside they head, and going past the 1100 where the leader is Yardman, locked down in front by Chris Parnham, dictating terms to please himself. The favourite in control, Yardman. 3/4 Molly McGee going up a little closer with the slow speed that's on. Regal Sun down on the inside, going keenly there third. Fourth is Trisuum. Over a length behind those at the 750 is the slug, back there with Pyro. Data Lake is second from last, and back with it is Scootin. And so in this pattern they head past the 650. Yardman's going to lengthen stride and open up pretty shortly. It's had it cosy mid-race, leads the way from Molly McGee. Down on the inside Regal Sun, about to pull out around them now, being put into the race, travelling up there quite well, Trisuum, and then a further 2 lengths. Off the bridle is the slug as the sprint really goes on. Back with it Pyro. Yardman into the corner first, kicks 2 clear. Molly McGee. Trisuum is trying to pick up on the outside, but when they went past the 200, Yardman led the way. It's a length and a half in front. Trisuum trying valiantly. Yardman clear. Trisuum keeps coming. He really is having to lift Yardman. Trisuum diving. Trisuum on the outside got the nose in front, and Trisuum eventually wore down Yardman right in the shadows of the post. Molly McGee and the slug photoed third. Behind those Pyro Scootin, followed then by Regal Sun fading out of it, back there in company with Data Lake. Number 5's got their Trisuum coming off the 35-day break for trainer Paul Roberts. It's the Galah mare that has just stuck to a task, and she has eventually worn Yardman down in the last bound. Trisuum number 5, Lucy Warwick, getting the upper hand over Yardman, Chris Parnham, and number 4, Molly McGee, got the nod for third. Jason Whiting in front of the slug. 5-2-4, had a lovely run, Trisuum. Warwick was keen to get moving. At the 500 there, she got off the back of Molly McGee and set out after Yardman, who wanted to roll around a little up the track under pressure from Chris Parnham, drifting further up the track as the race continued on. And Trisuum eventually got to it. 1:38.06 the time, 35.35 the concluding 600. And the winning margin a short head, 2.5 lengths between second and third. Trisuum is by Galah from Dutchies Express. For Jay Olstorn, trained by Paul Roberts, handled by Lucy Warwick. Yardman by Zoo Star from Amelienborg, owned by Martin Eppes, trained by Ted Martinovich and ridden by Chris Parnham. And third, number 4, Molly McGee by Trade Fair from Pure Ivy, Gary Crispin and Jason Whiting. Details there after the running of the first. It was a sprint from the corner, and horses like the slug just not suited there the way that panned, but finished off pretty well late in the race. Trisuum, though, given a perfect ride by Lucy Warwick, salutes in the opening event. Race 2, the Valet John Martino handicap over 1800. A field of 7 to do battle with the scratchings of 8 Doc Fryer and 9 losing ticket. 8 and 9, they're out of race number 2. Time to head back to Brittany Taylor, joining us in the winner's enclosure, and with her trainer Paul Roberts. A good effort there, coming off 35 days to win at the mile.
Certainly was. Paul Roberts does join me now. Paul, obviously there was that interruption there with the scratching from Bunbury when the meeting was abandoned. 35 days then coming here to the races. How did that impact what you had to do behind the scenes?
Actually, it worked really well. I ran her 3 times in 2 weeks, and she's a fairly light sort of mare, and I was a little bit worried about the race in Bunbury that day, and I thought, gee, I might have gone one too many too soon. And so having 35 days, she's not hard to keep fit. So I freshened her up and built her up, and her work's been terrific the last 2 weeks. Fiona Bell's been working her, and she's just said, you know, Paul, she's going fantastic, and she was dead right. I thought she'd be pretty hard to beat. Lucy asked if she could ride her forward. I said, you ride her where you're comfortable, and yeah, she's rode a retreat and she's got up right on the line, so it's great.
Perhaps that abandoned meeting was a blessing in disguise for her, giving her that spacing between runs. You mentioned there that Lucy was given to the licence to do what she wanted. What were you thinking as you rounded the corner and just put her into the race?
Actually, I thought she was a huge chance. She really doesn't get wound up until about the last 100, and you know, Lucy would put her there. She was close enough, and I thought, gee, if this mare just digs like she can dig, you know, she's going to be very hard. And I mean, I know she only got there by a head, but she's doing her best work on the line, which is great.
How have you assessed her career thus far? Obviously, she's broken through today at start number 9, but there's 5 third placings there. She's never been far away.
No, she's had a fair bit of bad luck. She's horses that get back and, you know, as you know, they get held up and things go wrong. And, you know, today, well, smaller field, which has been really good. You know, you're not going to run into too much trouble, and where Luce put her, it was beautiful. So, yeah, she's got a fair amount of ability, but, you know, as I said, the way she races, her racing style, that sort of causes them to get held up and a bit of bad luck, which, you know, you don't quite get to show your best as often as you'd like to.
Well, today everything went right. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Paul Roberts there after the victory of Trisuum, and Scott's with Lucy.
Certainly am, Lucy. Hearing Paul there, you asked if you could ride this mare a little bit closer to the speed today. It's always nice to have trainers that let you do what you want.
Yeah, she was pretty cruisy. It's a small field. It was nice enough for her to get in, and Jason Wyden just rolled forward a bit, and she had a beautiful toe into it. She almost wanted to throw it away still. I think both the Yardman and her weren't too keen on winning, and someone had to stick their nose in front.
Good strong effort considering she was a month between runs.
Yeah, for sure. And she seems like she would want to get over a bit more ground. She took a while to pull up, and it was a nice run.
Congratulations. Enjoy the nap.
Thank you.
Lucy Warwick there after the victory of Trisuum for trainer Paul Roberts, finally breaking through at start number 9. Perhaps that Bunbury scratching was a blessing in disguise. Coming here 35 days between runs, fresh at the mile, good training performance and a nice result.